Hello again, friends. My name is Zayna and I am back at the greenhouse today for our final nutrition mission. Now, throughout this series, we've learned about vitamins and minerals and nutrients and how the ingredients that we grow can provide so much flavor and health into the recipes that we make. Now, for the finale of the nutrition mission series, we will be making a recipe that incorporates all of the herbs and plants that we have learned about throughout the series, like basil, cilantro, and arugula. And we do have a new plant that we will be incorporating called nasturtium. So let's go check it out. This is nasturtium. To me, it looks like a bunch of lily pads that frogs would use in the water. Nasturtium tastes like arugula, where it has a nutty and peppery flavor, but it has the feeling of basil, like that minty feeling. And it actually will bloom these colorful flowers that are like red and yellow that are also edible and have a peppery flavor as well. Now, these flowers are a great source of vitamin C and iron, but I know you're wondering, what recipe are we gonna make with all these herbs, this new one, and the ones that we have already learned about throughout the series? The recipe is called pesto. I know, my recipes always had these funny names. But pesto is so versatile and yummy, you can put it on almost anything and it'll make it 1,000 times better. Pesto is from Italy, and when translated to English, it actually means to grind up or to pound. I guess that kind of gives away how we'll be making this recipe, because it was originally made by crushing and mending all the ingredients together. But let's see what Jordan has for us for facts about nasturtium today.
Hi everyone, it's me, Jordan, the greenhouse expert again. If you're like me, you've never heard of this plant before, and it's not usually found in grocery stores. But I recently just found how awesome it is when I've been working in the greenhouse with Zayna. It kind of has a sweet, peppery flavor, unlike the sour, peppery flavor of other herbs. But one thing that's special is that you don't usually eat the leaves, you eat the flowers that it produces. It produces huge red and orange flowers that can also be eaten. It's used on decorations on cakes and sometimes in salads, and it has this beautiful color. Hopefully someday in our greenhouse we'll get bright red and orange flowers, but today we're just going to be using the green leaves. One other thing is that there are lots of edible flowers out there. There's hibiscus, roses, and even carnations, which are probably flowers that you've heard of before. All of these can be used in super fun ways in your dishes. So now, let's go and harvest some. As you can see, it attaches here at the base. And what you want to do is you want to break the stem off about a ½ inch away from the base. You can just kind of pinch it with your nail, like that. But for Zayna's recipe, we're not going to include the stem. We're going to break off the stem at the top too. It's just best to do that like in 2 parts so you don't hurt the plant. Well everyone, that's the last of our videos, and I really hope you enjoyed our greenhouse time together. I also hope you learned how to plant your own garden at home with plants and herbs with the different techniques that we learned how to use. Now let's go bring this to Zayna to use in her yummy pesto.
Thanks, Jordan. I can't wait to see what flowers our nasturtium plant is going to bloom. Now, before we start, remember to ask an adult's permission to use any kitchen utensils such as scissors, peelers, knives, or blenders. We want to be safe in the kitchen. And also remember to wash your hands and your cooking station before, during, and after your cooking session. So this recipe is going to be super easy to make. We're literally just throwing everything into this blender and mixing it up. The only rule is that you have to do it in this order. Now first, we'll need our basil leaves, our cilantro, our nasturtium, and arugula. And all we have to do is just add it to the blender. Next, we're going to add some walnuts. Now, walnuts are one of the oldest food trees that we know of that dates back to 7000 BCE. And walnuts are also a great source of magnesium, which is a mineral. Now, magnesium is responsible for over 300 functions in our bodies. That's a lot of work for just one mineral. Next, I'm going to hit pulse on this blender just to mix it up a bit. Next, we're going to add some Parmesan cheese, which if you remember from our bruschetta recipe, Parmesan cheese is named after the city that it was originally created in, Parma, in Italy. Next, we'll need some antioxidants, or as I like to say, extra virgin olive oil. Now the trick is to add a little bit at a time and blending it thoroughly and doing it in sections instead of all at once. So we've got 1/4. I'm going to pour a little bit in. And blend it. And I'll just keep doing this until it's all in there. You might have to scrape it off the sides and then keep pulsing it until it's fully blended. And now, just a pinch of salt and pepper. And then a quick blend. And then that's it. Here's what it looks like. We have a sauce that's packed with nutrients and flavor and can be put on almost anything, like sandwiches, pizzas, pastas, soups, veggies, or salads. Now I'm gonna plate this, but let's find a comfy spot to try out our new snack. Here is the final product. Then I'm just gonna eat it with some bread. Okay, let's give it a taste test. There's so much flavor because of all these herbs packed into one sauce. You can really put it on anything like sandwiches or salads, literally anything, and it tastes amazing. All right, before I dig in, let's go over the main points from today's nutrition mission. Growing and using fresh herbs and greens will provide essential nutrients that we need every day while providing flavor to any recipe. Nasturtium has a peppery, nutty, and minty-like flavor, but also produces edible flowers. Pesto is from Italy, meaning crush or to pound. Walnuts contain magnesium, which helps with almost 300 different functions in the body. I hope you all have enjoyed this series. Remember to get creative in the kitchen. Cooking is so much fun, and you can make anything that you want. We can use the plants that we grow to create these delicious and healthy recipes. My name is Zayna, and that's it for our Nutrition Mission series, where we are staying healthy one bite at a time. Bye!
We would like to acknowledge that Grow Gardens occupy the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary lands of Indigenous people. The Ho-Chunk Nation has been on these lands for over 3 ice ages. The Dakota to the west of the Mississippi have resided for countless generations. Please join us to honor that heritage and the sacred lands of all Indigenous people. This acknowledgement is an opportunity to increase awareness of the historical and present spiritual and personal significance of this land to its original stewards.